We have 6 gorgeous new colored acrylic colors for you. I'm going to swatch them out really quick and then show you how to use them all together. So let me just swatch out the colors really quick and then we'll get into our actual design. So our first one is Cover Morganite. And this one is, I'm absolutely loving this for coverage. So if you're doing like a full cover nail or a nude nail, this is going to be absolutely beautiful for those kind of designs. This one is the only one that doesn't have a shimmer to it. So this is more of kind of along the lines of those cover colors or those solid opaque colors. The rest of these have a beautiful sparkle to them, shimmer to them. So Amber Glow is our next one. And this one is kind of a lighter copper, kind of a bronzy copper maybe. And then we've got Aquamarine Spark, which I think this one's actually my favorite. But this is kind of that lighter, kind of a teal blue, almost an oceany kind of a blue. I'm loving this one. And then Sapphire Serenity is that deeper blue. So this is the deep ocean. And you guys, I don't know that the camera is actually doing these justice with their sparkle and their shimmer, but when you hold these under the light, they are absolutely gorgeous. So the next one is Garnet Glamour, that deep jewelry garnet red tones. All right, our next color is Smoky Ametrine. And this one, I'm gonna grab that pearl, is just kind of a softer, almost mauve-y kind of a color. So you guys, these colors just on their own, they have this beautiful color, they have that beautiful sparkle, but I want you guys to see what they look like kind of under the light. And again, I don't know if you're gonna really be able to even see that extra sparkle, but once they're under that light, they just shine.
Karen, just give me a second. You guys, Black Friday sale is live now. 30% off site-wide. We have an acrylic mystery box, a gel mystery box, the Brook AB stamping kit collection, the Bling and Glam table set. We have an ELO bundle and a ton of blowout site-wide. Remember, all the products are limited in quantity. You have to take advantage of us now.
All right, so now that you guys have seen the colors just really quickly, let's go ahead and use them on, I'm gonna use all of these colors on one nail, and it's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. What I'm gonna start with is I've already prepped this nail. I've built out a clear extension with our Speed Clear. We're gonna start with our Cover Morganite, and we're gonna do a smile line. So we're gonna create a smile line. All right, so we're gonna pick up a pretty good sized pearl. I'm gonna hold it for just a couple of seconds, let it kind of settle just a little bit, and then we'll set it onto that nail. I'm gonna angle that finger almost straight down here as I'm working, so that way my product is gonna run and it's gonna kind of flow and start to form that smile line. Once it's stopped moving, then we will lift up on that nail and give it just another kind of couple seconds. So we'll lift up on that nail and then we'll clean up that smile line. I'm just gonna kind of tuck in on those edges. So now you can see the reasoning for building out that clear extension. So this way we can elongate that smile line, create a little bit of more a balanced kind of smile. So that way our pink area and our free edge are gonna be a little bit more balanced. We're not gonna have that super short little nail body area and then a really long free edge. So it's a good easy way to elongate your smile lines. I'm just kind of tucking in on those sides, making sure that my sides are nice and straight and nice and clean. All right, I am gonna let this set up and then I'm gonna use a file and we're gonna clean up that smile line, and I'll show you that in just a second once this sets up a little bit more. Okay, so our nail body area is set. I'm going to take a brand new 150 grit file. I have not taken off the sharp edges of this yet, and I'm going to use that to just come right around that smile line and really crisp up that smile line. Now, you guys, this is just a trick that I like to do. If your smile line is perfect and you don't need to do this, you don't have to. It's just another another quick little trick, just in case maybe you didn't get your smile line perfect, or maybe something wasn't quite looking right, you can always go back and clean that smile line up. And I think we're good there. Okay, now I'm gonna just dust off that nail. And then we'll get into our beautiful colors. So I'm gonna open these up and kind of set them in order that I'm gonna use them. That way I can just kind of flow from one color to the next, and I don't really have to think about it too much. We're gonna go from our dark blue to our lighter blue. Then we're gonna go to kind of our medium color, and then our darker red to our kind of lighter red. So that's kind of the order that I'm gonna flow. So we're gonna just start with that dark blue. I'm gonna pick up a kind of a smaller pearl. I'm gonna just slightly drain out some of that liquid. I'm gonna turn my brush around, and then I'm just gonna blend that back up into that smile line, pulling that all the way back up into those corners. Just getting enough of that product in there. And then I'm just gonna kind of feather out the edge of it. Now you guys, these products or these colors kind of set a little on the slower side because there's so much pigment to them. There's so much of that glitter to them. So you've got a little bit of time to work with them and kind of blend them out. And you can add a little bit more color if you need more color. So I'm going to add just a little bit more. Maybe drain out that extra liquid, but add just a little bit more right up into my corner up here. And any of that color that you're seeing over the top of the nail, don't worry about that. That's gonna file off, and we're gonna get a beautiful smile line in there. Let's pick up a little bit of our next color. And this time I'm gonna leave my pearl a little on the wetter side. I'm just gonna kind of tap that in to that darker blue. And by leaving it a little on the wetter side, this is gonna help to let it just kind of blend in a little bit more. So you can see those colors just kind of fade together and then tap out that edge. So then our next color is going to blend into that. Again, just another small pearl, leaving it wet, setting that down just right at the edge of our last color. Again, kind of tapping that edge in, tapping to blend that in, and then tapping to blend out. We'll go on to our next color, which is our darker red. Tap that in, let that blend. And you guys, if your blends aren't perfect at this point, don't worry, okay? I'm gonna show you how to kind of fix things, how to add a little bit more color, but as you're putting your product on there, just kind of blend as best as you can, but don't overthink it, okay? Don't overthink it, don't try to do too much work, because you can always come back and add a little bit more color. So this is more of that brighter kind of coppery orangey color. Again, just kind of tapping that in to blend. Now I can kind of see I've got a little bit of an area right through there that I want to add a little bit more color to blend a little bit more. So just a tiny, tiny little pearl, keeping that nice and wet, and just kind of pressing and tapping that in there, getting those colors to just really blend. And then maybe just a little bit of that coppery orange. Maybe a little bit more of that red right on top of that, while that is still a little bit on the wetter side. That way both of those colors being on the wetter side are gonna blend a little bit easier as you're putting those on. All right, I think I'm liking how that's looking. I want a little bit more of a blend right up through there. So let's just grab a tiny little pearl right in there. And again, just kind of tapping, leaving that liquid in my brush, getting that all to blend out. And then maybe one more little pearl of that lighter blue just to blend in. So again, you guys, when you're blending, smaller pearls, little on the wetter side, are gonna be your best friend. This way, they're just gonna flow a little bit more, they're gonna blend a little bit easier. But you can always add more to just kind of keep that blend going. Okay, I think I'm liking that. I want just a tiny little bit brighter right at that edge. Just gonna use just the edge of my brush here to really kind of blend that in there just a little bit more. And you guys, when you're working and blending like this, the thinner you keep those and the smaller you keep those pearls, the easier they're gonna blend. But also you'll notice from the side view, even though I've been adding all of these different little beads in there, I haven't really built up any thickness, okay? By keeping those pearls small, keeping them on the wetter side, that's how you're gonna get that blend. Okay, I think I finally have created that blend that I like. I think we're gonna leave it at that. Now, because we have still a little bit of space in there, we haven't built up that thickness just yet. Now we're gonna cap that free edge in our Speed Clear. And this is what's gonna build up the rest of that structure to the nail, and it's gonna seal in our design. So let me grab our Speed Clear. Now, you wanna make sure that your colors are set enough so that when you put your clear on, it's not gonna smudge them, it's not gonna move them. So usually by the time they get to, it's more of kind of a matte look. Right now I can still see a little bit of shine on that nail. So I'm gonna wait maybe just another 30 seconds or so, and then we can go into putting our Speed Clear on. But I do wanna make sure that when we do the clear, it's not gonna smudge or color fade underneath. Okay, so at this point now it looks a little bit more on that matte side. So now we can go ahead and cap that whole free edge. I'm not gonna apply my clear over the rest of that nail body. I don't need to. That is a little thicker than our free edge. It's got enough thickness to it. It's got enough of the structure. So we don't need to cap the rest of that. I'm gonna just slightly drain out my pearl, drop that right down in front of that smile line, and just kind of blend it right back up to that smile line. Just blending that all the way back. I'm going to turn my brush around and then we'll press out and blend out the rest of that free edge. Now I'm going to add another little pearl on the free edge here, but just kind of blending out what I've got to get the majority of that capped with that clear. Okay, pick up another smaller pearl. Again, drain out a little bit of that extra liquid, turn my brush back around and blend back. So when I'm applying those pearls and I'm blending back, the purpose of that was to kind of build up to that arch, to my apex area. And then I can just come back through that free edge, making sure that I've got enough thickness right on that free edge. But when I blend back, that pulls that product up to that apex, and it also is going to thin and taper out that free edge. So now we've got that nice arch structure coming into play. I think I'm going to add just a tiny little pearl right at that free edge. There's a little bit that I feel like wasn't quite capped. I'm probably going to end up filing off that end anyways, but just to be on the safe side, I wanted to make sure that I've got enough product on there. Now I am also seeing a little bit on these corners here that I didn't quite get enough product. So I am going to, just like I did on that free edge, I'm going to add just a small pearl right up into those corners, just to make sure everything is capped and sealed and I've got enough structure into my corners. Just drain a little bit of that liquid so it's not flowing too much, and then we'll just blend that back into the corner. Okay. At this point, I know you guys are looking at this thinking, whoo, that's not quite so pretty. I'm going to go through and let this set up, file out the nail, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. All right, you guys, I filed out the nail. It is shined up and gorgeous, so hopefully this will inspire you guys, if you haven't already, to get that mystery box with all of these gorgeous stone-inspired colored acrylics. Enjoy your designs.